No one. Salt.
Good evening. Welcome to this Town of Oakham Finance Committee meeting. Tonight is Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7:04 p.m. And in attendance tonight, we have myself, Corey Packard. We have Vin Piucci.
Claire Hendra.
Brad Batch.
And remotely, we have
Steve Dollinger.
Okay. And we also have the Board of Selectmen here this evening. Don, to you.
I'm going to call a regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen on Wednesday, March 25th, 2026 at 7:04 p.m. All three members are present.
And just as a point of clarification, it is a joint meeting.
Thank you, sir. So I usually go through attendees, but we usually don't have this many. So if it's all right, I will. Thank you for the few people who watch. And we have Don, Dennis, and Mike. We're also, Maribel, did you want to introduce yourself?
Maribel Range, the admin to the Board of Selectmen.
And Lauren, did you want to introduce yourself?
Lauren Constantine, Library Director.
And Michelle, did you want to introduce yourself?
I'm just Michelle Bertrand, a resident.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Just a resident.
Right. So this evening, public comments, inquiries, or correspondence, anything since our last meeting, 23 hours ago. I have nothing.
Nothing. I got nothing.
Claire?
Just that I've texted Sue Adamski about March 30 to see if she's available, okay?
The Council of Aging
That's
follow-up.
correct.
Thank you. All right, so new business. We are continuing. We have the Highway Department represented by the Board of Selectmen. Don, I did want to ask, Lauren with the library has just finished up work. The highway might take a minute longer. Is it okay if we jump to the library just so she can get home for dinner?
Thanks.
Oh, okay. Well, good evening, Lauren. We have a copy of your budget. Would you like to just run us through it?
Sure. Do you want me to just go over changes or the whole thing or?
Wait, why don't you do it line by line, Lauren? I'd appreciate it, yeah.
All right, so no changes with both of the wages, the director wages and the part-time wages.
Okay, so hang on just there, because I'm gonna repeat the numbers and
Sure.
if you would confirm. So that would be the director wage is $43,678.
Yes.
And then the part-time wages is $36,926. All right,
Bills are 300.
yep, good.
Electricity stays the same at 3,000.
Mhm.
Our gas, oil, for heat, we did, request a $400 increase just to keep up with the rising costs. So that would bring this year to 3,400.
Okay,
For CW Mars, our membership went up $75.
Mhm.
So that brings us to 1,333.
okay, yeah,
Our building repair line stays the same at 4,650.
okay,
Office supplies at 3,771 also has no change. Our lending materials, we're asking for 22,235, which is an increase of 1,878. Just we're still trying to make that gap to our materials expenditure requirement from prior. And there is a little bit more of a gap, but we can make that up with our state aid funds.
okay.
And then our general expenses, 400 stays the same, and technology, 2,400, which stays the same.
If I remember correctly, Lauren, that lending material had to be a certain percentage of the
Yes.
overall budget, didn't it?
Yeah, it's the materials expenditure requirement. It has
Yeah.
to be 20% of the total budget.
Okay, I couldn't remember what the percentage it had to be.
For the record, you have a number of financial amounts you have to meet to remain in certification with the
Yes.
state. Do you
Yeah,
want to
there's
just,
financial amounts, there's open hours, staff requirements, things like that. So there's a lot of state requirements we have to meet to stay certified.
well, I hear a lot of compliments. You do a very nice job over there. People have been very pleased from what I've heard.
Love it.
Penny, did you have any questions for her?
I do not.
Okay. And then Brad, any questions for the library? Claire?
Telephone was blank.
Yeah, the.
Because it's on the town
Yeah.
telephone. And then I'm just gonna give you the total on,
Yeah.
okay. $122,093. We're in
That's what I got.
agreement?
Yep.
Okay.
Steve, did you have any questions for Lauren?
No, thank you very much for presenting.
So Lauren, what's 2,400 under technology cover?
So that is our membership with CM Geeks, who does all of our tech services. We had a company prior, that was actually in Canada. So they weren't super helpful when we needed somebody to come and fix something. But yeah, so, we had them, this year was our first year with them, and it's been like life-changing over there. So it's really nice to not have to put on the tech hat.
Okay. Have you watched any of the very exciting FinCom minute meetings that have been posted on YouTube?
I'd like to say that I have, but no, I haven't.
Okay. I didn't want to scare you.
Yeah.
The short of it is we're going to talk about it a lot after you leave, probably. The town, when we started this process, we were looking at over a $450,000
Mhm.
budget shortfall, which even if we use all our free cash, was over 230,000. We've since winnowed it down quite a bit.
Mhm.
We've managed to substantial savings from police and other things, but there are a lot of ideas that have been tossed out there, including a Prop 2.5 override.
Mhm.
And when it comes to that, basically legally, we have to present a balanced budget. We can't run it like a household or the federal government in a deficit. And so things have been tossed out, like we're considering eliminating Council of Aging completely, Parks and Rec completely. Highway, we want to, throwing out ideas that we would keep both employees. They would lose all their budget except So Nice, just to, so we could keep those employees. We talked about stipends. I think we did not vote on it, but my opinion was keep stipends in place because there are people we would lose. That's very small amounts, and we wouldn't want to lose the few people who like to give back to the town over those small amounts. The town historically has voted in support of fire and police. And then that's why we're just talking about what to do with highway. That'll be a long discussion next. And as you see in other towns, one thing that often comes up is they do put the library up on the chopping block because then they expect the library to get out the vote, basically, and people come to your support. We saw it in Rutland a couple of years ago where they all came out to vote because myself personally, I would vote for a Prop 2.5 override to keep the library. So I don't want you to be scared that these discussions have to be happening. We're down below 200,000 right now by my count in terms of, and so there are a couple of ways that we can address that, but I just didn't want you to come in here, think it was hunky-dory, and then hear on a recording later that the library might be on the chopping block, because the idea would be we have to present that we have to have two budgets. We have to have this is what we're going to have to cut to get a balanced budget. And then if we get a Prop 2.5 override, boom, library is back.
Yeah.
And so with that in regards, I did want to ask, do you foresee in the next couple of years any large capital expenditures or changes in spending?
Not changes in spending. The only thing I do see is that we do have a problem with our lift. We were told we can get maybe a year or two out of it. We're actually hoping to get alternative funding for it. I have a couple of meetings lined up. So chances are, I want to say no, but that is one thing that's sort of hovering over us for longer than it should be.
It's not an end all be all. I know the well was a point last year. Has that been addressed?
That's all set. Yeah, the well's good. The roof's good. Historic rooms reopened. So we're in pretty good shape.
Awesome. Well, again, I've only heard great things about the library from town residents. So you're
Glad to hear it.
doing a nice job. And I'll go around once more in case anybody, otherwise we can get Lauren home. Vinny? I'm good. Brad? Claire?
I'm all set, Lauren.
And Steve?
Also, thank you.
All right. Thank you for coming in, Lauren.
Thanks.
Don, would you like to do highway next? Sorry.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready, Mike.
We've already met on this at our selectmen's meeting, and Claire was present at the time. We made some adjustments to Patrick's FY 27 budget request. So I'll start with the first one. Highway set superintendent salary will stay the same, $82,668. Highway full-time wages will stay the same at $113,614.
Sorry, quick question. Don't they have a contractual raise coming to them?
No.
They don't. Okay,
Not this year.
thank you.
Mhm.
They got a bump last year.
Thank you.
Highway part-time seasonal wages. We had quite a bit of discussion on this at our meeting. And it was felt that that should be under snow and ice
Mhm.
for part-time seasonal snow and ice drivers, because we don't hire part-time in the summertime. So we're gonna change that line item to fall under snow and ice.
It's certainly within your purview to do that. I just want to mention, didn't the accountant advise against that? Because once you add to snow and ice, you can never reduce it.
Well, let's get down to that, because there was another discussion on that one, and
Okay.
I have the record. So I have that as a goose egg, Mike.
What?
Your highway part-time seasonal wages. I changed that to a goose egg, because we were going to talk about that underneath the snow and ice.
Okay, well,
Is that and that should be what you have?
we had come up with, the 26 budget was 7210. And we spent in part-time
Yeah,
ice and snow, I believe 84.35.
84 what?
84.35 and
Thank you.
50 cents. So we're deficit spent on that.
yes, you are, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll move on to the next one, which is highway overtime.
Okay, so let's go back and discuss that one afterwards as we get down to snow.
When we
and
get
ice.
this,
Yeah,
okay.
okay,
FY 26
Yeah.
was $1,030. And that was increased to 1,633. And that's basically for summertime coverage, for storms, call-ins, things like that. You know, if the guys get called in for a four over on off shift time.
Mhm.
Telephone, we were 1,000, we reduced it to 800.
Mhm.
Building repairs and maintenance. FY 26 was $3,200. And we'd like an increase to $3,600
Mhm.
for FY 27.
Do you want to talk about it now or go all the way through? The fire chief had mentioned more substantial repair needed for the building.
That was only on his side. So
Even though they share the building, he's going to incur the whole cost?
I think his costs are on his side of the building, from my understanding, but we
Okay,
can clarify that later,
okay,
because I'm not sure how to answer it,
okay.
because I'm not sure if him and Patrick
Mhm.
had a combined conversation or not, so I'll have to ask Tim.
Okay.
But my understanding was it was one side, the other side, for whatever issues are on each bay, each side of the center section.
Okay.
Let's see, vehicle and maintenance. FY 26, we're budgeted at 12,000
Mhm.
and we'd like to bump that to 16,000.
Mhm. And you were over budget on that line item already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
with
That
breakdowns
makes
this
sense.
winter,
yeah.
Hired equipment
Mhm.
will stay the same from FY 26 to 27 at 6,000.
Mhm.
Office supplies will stay the same
Mhm.
from this year to next year at 800. Summer maintenance, we were budgeted for 4,000 and requesting 6,000 for the new year.
Mhm.
Garage supplies will stay the same at 8,000. Signs and streetlights.
Lines, say, it should say lines.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Lines.
that's how it's.
It
put
says
out.
lights, but it's lines.
Lines.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we did the same thing the other night. But so signs and street lines, which is lining the roads. We have an increase from 7,500 to 16,000. And the reason for that is the state has come in and said you have to double line.
Mhm.
You can no longer do the single yellow line and you have to do the fog lines.
Can we do an Italian flag line? That's that's a reference to a big issue in another community in Massachusetts. Sorry, it's odd.
Okay.
Didn't mean to throw you off there.
Okay.
So we had
We'll
enough
put that in
money
too.
Yeah.
to do the lines
Yeah.
on the new paving on Ware Corner Road, Maple Street. I think North Brookfield Road is still
He
a
was-
single line
Mhm.
and Turnpike is still a
Yeah.
single line. And those are
Okay.
really the only lines that we do. I think Hunt Road we do. And I want to say we didn't, or do we have a single line on South Road?
We have a line on South Road? Sorry,
That's
I'm serious.
a highly traveled road
I know.
to and from the police academy.
How do you determine what roads need lines and what don't?
DOT
Yeah,
provides
I think
guidance
it's
on that.
dependent on how traveled they are, some of the considered main roads, yeah.
I mean, theoretically, you can do them all. Do you need to? No, but traditionally it's been Turnpike, North
Right.
Brookfield Road, Rutland Road. Rutland Road is a single line.
Yeah.
So
You notice when you go to other communities like Parmenter Road, I think we're deficient as well. You cross over the town line there and they've already double lined their side.
well, they just did a big project there 4 years ago. Where they brought in, they took all the trees out. They pulled all the stumps, they did major drainage and so, yeah. So what's the next one?
Uniforms. You're on uniforms now. Oh, you're on plow blades. Plow blades.
Plow blades
Yeah.
are, year to year are gonna be, 4,000, stay the same.
Yeah.
Uniforms, FY 26 was 3,200. They were requesting 3,500. We left it at 3,200. Tires and tubes, 2,500 for FY 26 and 2,600 for FY 27, $100 increase.
Mhm.
Dues and memberships will stay the same at 215. Police details will stay the same at 1,000. And the new communication radios, we had quite a bit of conversation about that. As to whether it was 2,700 or 900 a year. And I believe Maribel, you
Yeah, so
clarified that.
$300 per radio, so they would need 3 radios. And it is a 3-year agreement, but you pay the invoice once a year. So it would be just the 900 per year,
900?
900, with the exception that the first year,
Yeah.
add a little extra for the accessories, belt clips, anything for the radio. So I had sent an email to the board saying maybe like 1,400 that
Yeah.
first year, but then moving forward, it would just be the 900.
Okay. All right.
So we're gonna put 1,400
Yeah.
and then that will reduce for FY 28. Snow and ice,
Did you have a total for that by any chance, so I can match it with you, Mike? Or if you don't, I'll give you a
Well,
number and you want to check it
use-
later.
You might have a grand total.
using Maribel's number will be 1,400.
Oh, 1,400.
So 900 for the first year plus the
Yeah.
incidentals of 500.
Mike, she's asking something different. She's asking if you have a sum. Are you looking for the sum, Claire?
Yeah,
No, we don't.
okay. All right. Do you want me to give you what I have as a sum? And then you can just make sure that yours agrees with mine? Okay. $267,530.
What was that number again, Claire? 267 now?
Yeah, 530.
Thank you.
And what I'm putting a spreadsheet together for, Lori. So I'll copy you on it, so you'll know all the discussions we've had, what the summaries are.
So what did you have?
Yeah.
267?
I did, 267, 530.
And that does not include snow and ice.
No,
Is that a reduction from the original submission that Lori
Oh,
received?
I can tell you in a moment.
I'm more curious the amount.
Yes, it is, because Pat had put in for
Yeah, 276, 340.
93,000 for the
Yeah.
superintendent salary.
Yeah,
So we're down,
276,
so
340.
so we're down 9, thank you. Okay, lower.
Let's see what happens with snow and ice. Now, this is where we're going to have that discussion with the
All right,
7,200.
so Claire,
Yeah.
on the upper part of that, included in the 267, 530,
Yeah,
do you still have the line item
for seasonal wages,
seasonal part-time wages?
I have a zero there.
Okay,
She kept calling it a goose egg.
Yeah, they say, well, okay, sorry, zero.
The financial people might not have liked goose egg.
Oh, well, too bad.
Can't please them.
You have to add a little levity note.
You do. I thought my Italian striking was hilarious.
all right, Claire, we ran
Okay.
into something today
Yeah, what happened?
going through our stuff.
Mm,
DOT physicals
yeah,
and training.
yeah.
We're not sure how that's being paid because we don't have a line item for training and for physicals like the fire department and the police department.
Now you have training for the police, for the fire department.
And the
Bless you.
police department.
And the police department. Yes, you do for both.
Right, but we have recurrent training for the highway department for their
You do.
hoisting licenses.
Okay.
Where was that billed last year?
So now if
We don't know.
well,
Okay.
I've
We're
got
not sure.
I've got the reports from Lori.
Right, the details. I just
I have the
didn't know
details.
what
So
account to
do you
go.
know what the name of the place is or what?
I don't.
Okay, well, it's not a big deal. Do you want me to pull it up?
Well, the only reason this has come up is
Oh,
because
sure.
Mike is
Kidding?
doing training because he has to get
Yeah.
certified with the new mowing machine,
Yeah, okay.
because now I guess the state requires every attachment.
Uh-huh.
You gotta have a school on that one. You gotta have a school where years ago you got your hoisting hydraulics and you could pretty much run anything. Not
Yeah.
anymore. They,
So it's a separate license of 4G for the mower, which he's trying to get. So we,
Sorry. Did you say 4K? Like,
4G. I believe that's what it is called.
okay, so it's not a $4,000 training.
No, that's.
What's the 4G?
That's the license.
Oh,
of
that's the
mower.
license number. Thank you.
Yes.
that's what
Okay.
I'm saying, the hydraulic licenses. So if you wanna run a backhoe, that's a different
Yeah,
number letter combination.
Yeah.
If you want to run a front end loader, that's a different number letter combination. You want to run a giant earth mover, that's a different.
I have their spending report of the detail as of March 19. So I'm scrolling through it. Anything that I don't know who BSC Industries is, so I'll just leave that.
It's not enough.
But everything is O'Reilly Automotive, hydraulics, Fleet Pride. No, it can't be that. That's vehicle repair. That makes no sense. No, that's not it.
I don't think there's going to be anything for training other than what Mike is doing right now, because Patrick and Harold are up to date on all
Yeah.
that training.
Does anyone know
Yeah.
if the physicals are yearly or
Every 2 years.
every 2
Every
years?
2 years.
So they might not even show.
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah.
I don't recall seeing.
But my experience has been you find some things posted that are, you say, well, obviously that's the wrong place. That's just obvious. Yeah. But I don't see.
Claire loves digging into this stuff, so thank you for giving her a mystery.
Yeah, I honest to God, Mike, I don't see anything in here that would even bear resemblance to
Well,
training and physical.
I don't even know how much a DOT physical costs on
Yeah.
a biannual basis,
Yeah,
but then it comes up as that Where we're paying all these other trainings and all these other licenses and stuff, do we pay this one too?
Well,
I don't know the answer to it.
I
What's
would
the
think you would
consensus?
if you're doing it for everybody else. And the other thing it's required, is it required by the state?
Oh, yeah.
So then
It's, yeah,
I think it's a dead ringer you have to pay. I'm just surprised we never paid for it before.
I don't know.
Yeah,
So Google thinks you should be looking for an amount of around 150
100,
per person.
150.
So if they did,
so that would be
I don't know if they-
standard
I don't know if they
doctor's
staggered it.
appointment,
Yeah.
150 to 200
Yeah.
for a physical.
Fire,
Yep.
reliant. Would they be, is it different?
Yeah, I can tell you that I'm down to dues and memberships. Now I'm down to snow and ice. There's nothing.
It might have been a different year or it might have been charged the wrong department.
Oh, you bring it
Yeah.
down.
75 bucks.
for them.
75.
That Lori can find it.
Yeah.
In fire, they hook you up to an EKG, right?
Fire police is
Yeah.
much more expensive.
So does that mean you want to add a line for that?
I think we should, but I don't know what you're gonna put in for a number.
Yeah,
And, a line item for physicals and
yeah,
recurrent training, which I don't know where they are.
yeah.
I think Mike's gonna be up to date. Is Harold gonna have a reoccurrent training coming up in FY 27? I don't know the answer to that,
Yeah,
but at some point it will.
We do with ethics, right? Where it's not financially.
Don't know.
see, Tim only has
We would have been
$1,000 in
prepared,
for
but this just came
training
up Literally
and-
right before
and
this
$1,000
meeting.
for
That's okay.
physicals.
Hmm.
So between the two, he has 2,000. That's Tim.
Tim has 2,000.
Yeah,
But it's all-
1,000 for
but-
physicals and 1,000 for training.
Okay.
He has a bigger crew.
Much bigger group.
Right.
Just call it 1,000.
Call it 500.
What do you think for a number, you guys?
I would suggest 500 for the moment as a placeholder.
There's the place only. Yeah.
The chiropractor I go to, he does DOT physicals, and I think he charges 75 or 80 bucks.
Good price.
So call that 160.
Because
200,
if it
and
were
then
to be more,
Training is
you know,
200
there's
for this one class.
wiggle room to
192.
shift money at certain
That's
times
why
or.
I think with the trainings.
So 500 would be
I think.
a ballpark figure.
Yeah, I think that's funny.
Okay, let's do that.
So we need an account for this too. You said 500? Okay. And that's physicals and training?
Yes.
It may have paid their rent.
What I'm thinking.
All right, so that in that line, so that boosts the total
Was this 268.30?
268.30.
Okay.
They offer it free, the training. You look it up,
The training for hoisting,
not for hoisting, but this, yeah, the hoisting costs $250 to $280 per person. Hoisting,
Okay. So that's a good, and the 500 is a good number.
yeah.
Claire, you want to go through snow and ice or?
Yeah, let's do that, yes, because we
All
have
right,
to settle
before we
that.
get too far into
Okay.
that part of it,
Yeah,
you put 0 for the seasonal wages.
yeah, and that, in the highway.
Are we just gonna deficit spend that on the snow and ice?
Well, there was a big discussion about that. So here's my recollection, and you guys tell me what your recollection is, and let's just. So what Lori, I remember Lori had a comment about that, and she said, well, you have snow and ice overtime. Why are you adding another line? Because we said we wanted to add a line. And she said, why are you adding a line?
Well, it was there, so we,
Yeah, so she said, don't add another line. So there was some discussion about next year, maybe it not be as bad as this year. So we changed the snow and ice overtime, yeah, I know, to $18,600.
Well, I think the discussion was, I think we had talked
And we can deficit.
for snow and
spend.
ice overtime, the 18,000, we bumped it up to $2 to 18,600.
Yeah, that's right.
But
Yeah, that's what I have.
the other discussion I thought we had was we could put the part-time seasonal wages, which in reality are part-time snow and ice. When guys are called in to help, we could either put that in the snow and ice overtime as a combined light item,
You could, yeah.
or we discuss creating and moving that down from highway part-time seasonal wages, change that heading and move it down to snow and ice part-time seasonal wages.
Now, what I have here is, I'm just, so we can make sure we get it straight this time, we all agree. I have no problem with that.
Well, before you do,
Yeah,
the only thing about doing a separate one
yeah.
is this is labeled overtime
Yes, it is.
for the full-time employees.
Yeah,
So if we combine that, when the part-timers come in, their first 8 hours is going to be straight time.
I don't think anybody cares as long as it's wages.
So it's
You don't have
a,
to be that fine. You don't have to say overtime, full-time, part-time,
but
you know,
Claire, that's gonna be,
seasonal time.
that's gonna be a Board of Selectmen decision, because as Lori's pointed out, you can simplify it as far as you can have simply expenses, and you can have, what was the other one in the department? Wages,
Yeah.
wages, and you can go that simple if you want.
Oh,
If,
yeah.
if you want to see their overtime and part-times together, you can. If you want to track them, which she said your small town has a habit of really wanting to track all the items. That's why you have more items than most of my communities. You keep them separate. So we can certainly make a recommendation, but you guys would get to decide, do you want to continue to track part-time
Well, my-
employees separately?
my-
Or are you fine just being wages,
Well, my
basically?
concern is that we move the part-time seasonal wages, because that is strictly snow and ice removal. So that it's down in snow and ice, so that it can be deficit spent. Because the way it is right now, you know, you're expending out of it for snow and ice. It is snow and ice, but it's not labeled snow and ice.
It comes down to how do you want to track it?
Yeah.
You certainly can do that.
I'm not telling them what to do, to be clear. I'm just giving you the
I
option.
just think the
If you
number
wanna-
should be in there, just so we have a more realistic budget,
Yeah.
or
If you,
however we put it in there.
however you put it in.
Yeah.
Now, my understanding from years back about upper, the upper part of the highway department where we had seasonal wages. I thought that, did we have extra people doing summer maintenance? And that was the wages, and then summer maintenance was the materials?
You might have
I
done
mean, did we
If you go
have that
back to the
distinguished?
mowing.
If you go
Yeah.
back to the 1970s, they used to have the CETA program through
I don't go back that far, Mike.
where the highway used to bring
I
on
don't go back that far.
people for the
Okay,
summer.
yeah, well, it might have originated there. You
Well,
know.
that's kind of my
might be
point.
I
is-
don't ever remember since I've been in town part-time in the summertime.
No, you didn't, okay, all right,
They, during that program in the 70s, they were full-time
yeah,
through the summer. It was like a works
Yeah.
program through
Okay.
the state, I think.
I remember the CETA program, I
Yeah.
do remember.
The cold patches.
Okay.
That charges.
So then how do you want to treat the snow and ice? I mean, you can do it however you feel comfortable with and how you want to track.
I was told.
You don't have to call it overtime, you can call it snow and ice wages. You can call
Well,
it
if you
overtime. you
call
can
it overtime wages
Just leave it at wages.
Yeah.
Can cover both.
for snow and ice.
Yeah.
It's implied that, and that way you can pay the
Either
part-time,
side.
when they're on straight time.
Yeah.
It's on the start of their shift.
Be a lot easier.
Just plug that number into
So add the
wages.
Okay, so you want to call that snow and ice wages? So,
Now, the other
Yeah.
question we didn't decide the other night was FY 26 was budgeted at 7,210. And it was left the same for FY 27.
Yeah.
And as we said, it went over for a total of 8,435.50. Do you want to just keep the 7,210 and add that into the snow and ice
I
line
would say,
item
yeah,
of, so add that to the 18,600.
right.
I think Don can speak to it better if he wants to elaborate, but that sounds like a good number, because again, you can never go down,
Right.
never.
well, actually, you can, it's just you can't deficit
You
spend.
can't deficit spend, yeah.
Yeah, you can do, you can step on your feet, that's what you can do.
18,600 and the 7,210.
Yeah, I'm getting 25,810. What do you have, Maribel? Yeah, you too?
Yep.
Okay, so that makes
I
it
did
20.
hand that.
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. That's good.
So the line item 01-422-5112 and a whole bunch of zeros
Right,
6 zeros.
will go away.
right.
And that will be incorporated into snow and ice and will change over time to wages.
Right,
And that will be stay account number 01-423-5130 and 6 zeros after that. And that will be the amount of $25,810.
Sorry, Mike, I thought you guys were gonna leave overtime and you were gonna add a new line, wages.
To break it out.
Okay.
Wages, whether it's part-time
No.
or overtime, it's the same.
Okay,
That's what we just
yeah.
agreed on, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, just for clarity.
thank you.
So,
What is that number again? The total?
25,800.
And the next item
Yeah.
is snow and ice, sand.
yep,
We were gonna up that to 27,000 even.
yep,
I mean, Patrick had put 10,000. And that was, figuring on, because we were experimenting with using salt this year.
mhm,
And we had a lot of pushback from,
yeah,
well, at least 2 residents that were very vocal.
mhm.
I don't know.
No.
No, you weren't. No,
I'm talking, attending the meeting.
no, it wasn't you.
But anyways, so
So that makes 3.
FY 26, we were budgeted for sand at 26,995.
Yeah.
And so we decided to up that $5 for an even 27.
Yeah, that's what I have to.
And we did start the year with quite a bit of leftover sand from the year before. So that kind of worked out in our favor a little bit. Snow and ice, salt,
Mhm.
we were at 37,420 for FY 26. And Pat had put in a figure of 60,000.
Yeah, yeah, it was huge.
And we did deficit spend on salt. So I think we ought to leave it at 37,420
Yeah,
for the following year because, hey, maybe we'll get lucky and have a late winter. So it's better to deficit spend than it is to up the ante and then not use it and not be able to reduce it in the future.
Agreed,
That makes sense.
agreed.
That brings us down to snow and ice diesel.
mhm,
We were at 9,000 for FY 26 and requesting 12,000. And I think we decided to leave it at
he
9,000
did, yeah,
because
Again, you can definitely spend.
yeah,
this bump in the oil market is gonna swing the other way. It's already gone down. I'm sure the pumps will be
I don't know.
following a lot later
Yeah.
and not go down as quick as they went up.
Isn't that funny how that works? Huh?
They call it the rocket feather theory.
But I think oil's down at what, $88 a barrel? Something like that the other day.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see
I
it.
mean, it was at 78 before it all started. And then it went up over 100 something.
I'm
Well, I
guessing
hope
it'll
you're
somehow,
right. I really do.
So
it'll
Claire,
somehow come down by the midterm election.
yeah. So Claire, what's our new
That's
snow and ice number?
So here's a new number that I have then. If the diesel does remain at 9,000. So it's 99,230,
And that's just snow and ice.
and that's just snow and ice, and that's compared to last year's budget of $92,013.
And you
Okay, and the 7 is, yeah.
You added in the 7210.
I did.
To that total from up above.
I did. So your snow and ice wages now is $25,810.
And the total with sand and salt, diesel is 99,230.
You got it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Was that a wash from the original snow and ice submission?
That's
Or is it
down.
up?
I think it's down from the original submission. I have change some figures, but
Okay,
there was a $60,000 item in there, and that was
yeah,
hefty.
they paired off about 22,000 from that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mike, thank you for running us through that. Vinny, did you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Brad?
I would like to say that we are, board can correct me if I'm wrong, but we are still actively seeking to hire a superintendent. As I've stated to you folks, I think the highway department is the primary department for the town. Because fire department doesn't roll in a blizzard, police department doesn't go if the roads aren't clear. So it can't go away.
I'm surprised you heard otherwise. I thought I had heard from town residents that Highway did a really nice job this winter, especially with only two guys. They put in a lot of time, and I know all the roads that I traveled were really well cleared.
And we burned them out too.
And I could imagine that we burned them out.
That's the
Gotta
problem.
be careful with that.
Yep.
But the,
Well, the complaints weren't about the roads, it was about using the salt at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year.
Yeah,
And the salt was not working.
yeah.
Okay.
I think there were some comments made that,
Yeah.
in one of the meetings that if you need to cut to meet the budget, you can do away with the highway department, and I can say I don't agree with that.
You can't.
well, and snow and ice is just one,
Yeah, it's just one.
really,
part
it
of
is one small part of the highway department.
Yeah.
You really have to
Maintaining
maintain the roads in
roads.
the summer,
Drainage,
yeah,
everything that goes on maintaining the highways,
yeah,
just so you can get ready to plow them in the wintertime, is probably the bigger part of the job. It may not seem like it, but it is. There's a lot to it.
I wouldn't want to
Much
plow a bumpy
more-
road.
Well,
Go drive around and bury.
Yeah.
yeah, well, also, when there's cracks in the road, and you have to repair them, and potholes, and some of the edges are beginning to crumble, and I'm thinking of heavy rainstorms sometimes,
It would cost
in the
more.
past we've had washout. So, no, it's not as easy as it sounds.
Brad?
It would cost more to hire out anyway if we didn't have them. Somebody would have to do what they do and it would cost more.
well, even if you hired it out, you would have to probably hire an civil engineering firm to do your planning,
Mhm.
to do your chapter 90 planning,
Oh, yeah,
for your road work.
Yeah.
Your budgeting for that. There's a lot to it. And in all reality, plowing is probably the easiest part of, other than staying up all night.
Right.
And getting an ice storm and sliding down the road sideways with a big truck.
Okay. Steve, did you have any questions on highway?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Okay. So with a 9K lower on the first half of their budget and maybe about, let's call it 22 lower on the snow and ice,
yeah.
we have not yet closed the budget gap.
No, last time I
That's-
looked at it, was about 187. I don't know what the impact, because I haven't hooked up these line items yet to the overall budget.
Actually,
Are we
I
getting
just
more?
want to comment on the library.
Yeah,
I know it's kind of small numbers, but you can get a waiver from the state. We did it for years in the past.
You can. I've read that.
So
Back in 2000.
I think there's a limit on how many years in a row you can get a waiver.
2009.
What's the waiver for?
Somewhere,
To
2008,
their financial
2009.
support the town shows to the library. Has to be a certain amount.
The
Lauren
state
could have
was doing the
spoken to
same
it.
thing to us then. Actually, mid-year, they called us up and said, the local aid we promised you, you're gonna get it cut in half.
Right.
So we had a certain number we had to break, and the following year wasn't any better.
Wasn't even-
The nice thing with the
We got
reduction,
waivers for the library because they weren't keeping up with the reading materials that they had to buy. That was the biggest part of it.
the nice thing with about a $30,000 reduction in highway is that should bring us under 200K in the gap, which makes for a much more palatable override if the Board of Selectmen decide they want to go that way.
how much on the library of what you were just talking about is in correlation to receiving the state grant. Is that to justify the state grant or the conditions of the state grant that they get?
It's for the certification.
Percentage.
If you don't buy a certain number of new reading materials, you,
But
it affects the certification.
We have that number from Lauren because she gave it to us.
What do you mean?
Well, she said that she had to do an $1,878 increase to
Yeah, yeah.
continue to meet the state
Right.
Right, she also
regulations.
said she was gonna offset that a little bit with the Crombie, so that
That's
might
right.
not be the full amount.
Yeah.
She just was
Yeah.
offsetting it.
But that gives you the figure that you guys are
Yeah, no, I remember the number.
Right, so
talking about.
this would be the hard question.
It's not gonna balance the budget.
As a longtime library supporter. If we didn't meet it, we could still be open as a library.
Yeah, that's what you get the waiver
For
for.
the waiver.
But even without a waiver, we could still open our library.
Gonna say,
We
what,
just wouldn't need,
But you'd be jeopardizing the state money.
right, that's what I'm saying, and just do without.
Yeah, they'll pull it.
But you could still have your library.
But
Wow.
you'd end up losing
There would be
more.
nobody coming from the state to close your library.
Well, they just won't give you the money that
No,
you
no,
need for
I-
the budget.
Well, I understand
Yeah,
that.
that's what I
Yeah,
was gonna
yeah.
say.
I mean, so you lose more money.
You can keep the building open, but
That's what happens.
But you could still operate whether it was 1 day a week or. You have 3 employees or 2 part-time?
She just said something about number of days and hours.
Yeah.
So you have to be open.
For the
to meet the
state.
criteria.
Yeah,
To
they
meet
have to be
criteria
open a
for the
certain
state.
number.
I think you want to be very careful losing state money funding.
Oh, no, I'm just asking questions. Yeah.
You know, also that library is used by the homeschool families. So it's not just for people going to the library to pick out books. They use it for homeschooling.
I don't mean this in a bad way, Mike. I wish you had brought that up when Lauren was here. She could have spoken to it a lot more eloquently than any of us.
Believe me, I took a lot of heat a lot of years ago fighting to get that building in the shape that it's in, and
Yeah, I know you support the
I'm
library.
glad Susan Turnbull took the fight over. So.
Yeah.
Cause it wore me out a lot younger.
Should we?
I just,
We have a question from Michelle.
The budget,
Yes.
because every year at the town meeting, we have this thing about the Wachusett Greenway or whatever, and it's always $1,000 and why do we have to pay that too?
So we don't. I can
don't,
speak to
we're not
that,
allowed
or Don, would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, we don't put it in anymore.
Okay,
I believe at the last annual town meeting, it was the first time in several years we did not contribute.
okay.
It is a voluntary commitment that because the rail trail went through the town, we want to help keep it clean, maintain it. And the budget for the town, $1,000 is $1,000. I can't argue over $30, but we can argue over 1,000 for sure.
Right.
So, and I have not seen it presented in, I believe it's at 0, or it has not been presented to the FinCom this year.
I got-
It is on your posted agenda
Yes,
coming up in weeks.
because I'm assuming it's a 0, but I just wanted to.
Well, it
mention.
shouldn't even be on there, I guess is what I'm getting at.
We moved it per Maribel's help. We moved that all under our last meeting with you guys.
Because
So,
I don't see it in the submitted fiscal 27 budget. It's not in there.
that's a totally dead issue. I
Yeah.
think I
Okay.
told them that if they want, they can put up a toll booth and
okay. So it sounds like the,
they can rattle the.
speaking
tin
for the
cans.
selectmen, it sounds like it's a 0. Yes.
Corey, I just brought up the library. But when we future looking at the budget.
Yeah.
Just, I want to throw that option out. I don't want to close the library because I'll be hanging from the tree.
You never close a church, a library, or a school.
But I'm just throwing it out that we do have a few options here and there.
That's the rule.
Thank you.
Is that something we should look into, a waiver this year?
Lauren would be the best one to ask about
I was
that.
gonna say we should consult with her
Yeah, I think we should talk about it, but
how to do it.
again, it's just an option that we possibly have.
Might want to some information for the trustees too.
I guess the question is, how much do we get on the cherry sheet for them? I think it's like $6,000.
I don't remember.
Considering. they're
Don might
in
know.
front of the library.
Don, do you know how much we get for the library on the cherry sheet?
Oh.
Okay. Claire's looking for it.
Yeah, I got the cherry sheet in here. I have it under revenue.
Well,
Here
she's
it is.
oh, you found it?
I'm fast. Nope, I don't have it. I
You guys saying the
have to look-
$5,000 donation got cut in half
For
for the library?
$5,000 donation for what?
I thought we got a $5,000 donation to the library this year.
You're talking about, that came up a couple months ago. How did we find out about that? Who told us?
Somebody said it.
Somebody told us the library had received a private donation of $5,000. I hadn't heard it was cut.
Oh, that was a private, well, they mentioned something about something being cut in half.
Yeah, they must have, turned it over to their donation account line item, I'm assuming. I have no idea.
We didn't follow. It was just mentioned in a meeting and
Yeah, first I've heard of it, but I would imagine the trustees would put it
Or is it?
into some type of
They give.
They should
trust
have
account. And with the parameters of how it was to be used by whoever donated it.
Mhm.
It's like, it's
have to
like the
create
Crombie
your
Trust, but
account.
there's other ones in the library. And it's specific. I mean, some of them were people left money and they were supposed to buy a book every year.
Yeah.
The interest.
there's a beautiful playhouse over there that your young one will be able to play in soon. That was dedicated and donated, and there's a memorial plaque on it in memory of somebody. So
So we get from the state $6,665 this year. That's the governor's budget.
And how much does it cost to meet their requirements?
that's
Well, I don't know.
Lauren would tell us probably $2,000, but I'm guessing.
I would say then.
Yeah, we don't know. She'd be the one to ask.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the Historical Commission. Claire, do you have those numbers? Because I don't have them in front of me.
Historical Commission, I
Or
do.
we can ask, Maribel, did you receive a submission from them?
I think it's in there.
Yeah, it was $500.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we cutting the Historical Commission?
What did they do?
Well, they run that
No,
house
I
over
don't
there.
know. What is it? No, I don't think they run the,
That's Parks and Rec.
no, the,
The Ocam-
historical, museum.
Yeah.
I think that's a separate organization,
That's
isn't it?
historical
Association,
society.
yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
Historical
okay.
Society,
Yeah, that's
no.
not wrong.
So I don't know I don't know anything about.
Vinny, what does the Historical
You
Commission
know who
do?
knows?
I have no idea.
All
Lucy.
right.
Lucy knows.
It's a historical commission, the old red brick schoolhouse thing. That we spent a lot
Oh,
on.
that could be.
How much did they spend last year?
Not much. Oh, I think
500.
they used it because they put,
Actual was 500 out of $1,000 budget.
right, they put that money towards the arch, Green Hollow
Oh, did they?
Cemetery. Yeah,
Okay,
they had some ARPA, but then there was a little shortfall, so they used that.
use that one,
Mhm.
okay, yeah.
So if we're cutting Parks and Recs to zero, can we cut Historical Commission to zero?
You know, yeah, it's just me. I just would like to know what they do. And Lucy knows.
I think we had talked about Parks and Rec at 500. Correct?
Okay.
That's what was discussed here. I don't know what FinCom, I think
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
a different discussion.
We did. We had discussed that they were fairly non-existent currently, and the 500 was wasted just sitting there. Unless you knew of activity otherwise.
What do we spend out of Parks and Rec?
Nothing.
Nothing.
The only thing that we would spend every so often is a wreath. But we have,
Don't they have the concerts in the summer?
no,
That's
that's not, there's the bandstand for that. That's
Yeah.
private, yep.
Oh, okay.
And they get
They get
donations
donations for
or,
that.
yeah, so that has nothing. Parks and Rec really since did the Oktoberfest, Santa cookies and hot cocoa with Santa, any events like that, which unfortunately as
Easter.
members, Easter hasn't been in
Yeah, it
a
hasn't
long
been in a
time.
long
That used to be
time.
the church too.
Yeah.
But as each member fell off, it trickled. They do the ski club, but that's no monetary cost. They help organize that with Wachusett, but there's no financial cost to it. Just like Memorial Day, it's more organization, not a dollar amount.
We don't have the money this year, and $500 is $500. If the Board of Selectmen want to keep it there, we can. The FinCom has not voted on it. My personal opinion would be cut it to zero.
Their opportunity to bring it
You
back.
know what it is?
There is.
They spend it on Amazon Capital Services. What's that?
probably ordering something that was needed for an event. I know that some of the funds, when they did Oktoberfest, they would use funds from one fiscal year and the next fiscal year, they had to plan accordingly, to get that going. That's a huge undertaking.
I think Brad's concern, and Don can answer this, basically, if all of a sudden you had three very interested residents and they wanted to start throwing events, they could be given a budget and start fresh, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus,
Out permanently?
I'm not aware of that we've had anybody come in about Little League, T-ball, all those types of things that are usually affiliated with Parks and Rec.
Hmm.
Soccer in the fall, it all seems to.
I don't
We
know if
just
that-
didn't have
I don't
numbers
think
in
that really
Ocam.
went through Parks and Rec, because it's
Well,
quite an area, Little League.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
lost.
it's changed
the-
and we lost OCAM youth sports kind of when all the.
Yeah,
Right, because we didn't have the number of participants, so they
We didn't
they
have the kids
merged
we
with
had
Berry, they
when our
created
kids
a,
were
what they call,
doing it.
I forget what they call, but it's an overall district, because just each community, well, at least Ocam and New Braintree certainly didn't have the numbers to make their own team.
I know when we were coaching softball with Aaron, it was co-op and Little League.
Yeah,
It was totally separate. The town didn't pay for that at all.
So Don, can we get a number for Parks and Rec for Claire?
Field, we got.
What do you-
to redo the
zero?
field.
And then for Historical Commission,
Yeah.
0? We can move forward with that. Excellent. All right. Last item is the Finance Committee. Claire, did you want to take us through those?
0.
I don't have anything on that one, I'll tell you.
Just because we do have a resident here, we are going to be one of our last meetings that was recorded. We're going to be spending some money from our emergency reserve fund for the fire departments. They have a radiator repair. And we voted on it.
Remember that on the slide?
No, we don't have the paperwork.
I don't think, yeah, we did not vote on it because we haven't received the paperwork yet, but once we get it, we're gonna vote on that and that'll come out of the FinCom reserve because we
And that
think
was what,
it's
4,100?
4,600 maybe?
45.
No.
Somewhere in that range.
So when you give us the
Under
paperwork, we'll
10,000.
know what to vote on.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we have almost the full 30.
Well, no, we've already,
How much did we spend?
it's gone out in two things. What was the first one?
They were small. Maribel, what did we spend on the reserve budget? Do you know?
there was one for
I know what we
6,000.
spent.
Yeah, one was for Maya and one was for dispatch, so it's probably close to
I can tell you,
10-ish.
I'll tell you, cause I got it, I got
You
it,
got it?
I got it.
Yeah.
Hey, Claire, do you have it?
Only if I can find the,
Yeah, one was for
spreadsheet.
Maya
There
and
it is.
Rutland Regional.
Where are we here?
4,500 for the engine is what he's approximating.
Yeah, and he allowed
Okay.
a
Give me a
cushion for
second,
any
find out.
unforeseen incidentals.
Right.
FinCom. Okay, so far we have spent we have given other people, we've transferred out $7,263.90. Transfer for liability insurance,
And
and then just, yeah, the bill was more than we thought. And then-
What, 30?
Mhm.
Yeah, at 30, so we had 22,736 left.
Okay.
And then in February, we made a transfer, to the dispatch
Yep.
assessment, bonus,
Yeah, that hit,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, the phone was higher than expected.
yep.
Yeah.
And right now you guys won't meet with the board of selectmen, but right now we have placeholders for that. Because we don't have actual.
I know, you still don't have the figures,
No, not yet.
right? Yeah, okay.
So the FinCom had voted to level fund. And the FinCom had also voted 3-1 to add a line item.
I did want to have some training because I've been paying for it myself.
So Claire, if you want to run the board of selectmen through
I
those
hate to be
numbers.
cheap, but I'm telling you, at $100 when you go for training, after a while you say, yeah, I think I might ask for some money.
The other departments get tripped.
Did you want to give them
I
each,
think we need training. I do, honestly, in all seriousness.
you want to give them each of those numbers, Claire, please?
Yeah, I'm just setting up the spreadsheet so I can sound like I know what I'm doing when I talk with Lori, okay?
And while she's doing that, I don't know if
Okay,
the board of selectmen need feedback, but Lori has been very responsive and very helpful again through all this process. I don't know you know, if you're ever considering moving to different accountants and all that, but really very happy with her right now. So
Good.
Okay, so for the reserve fund last year was 30,000. I think we ought to keep 30,000, right?
we did level fund it, yes.
Yeah, and then general expenses, we had 300. And I think we had discussed keeping it at 300. I think whatever advisory we send out to people this year is going to be a bit thicker.
That's the
than in
mailing.
previous
Yep.
years. So keep that at 300, and dues and memberships is 150.
And,
And we spent,
and then,
yeah.
but we also did a vote and
yep,
approved $1,000.
for training,
No, it was for legal.
legal.
Yep, so we need to add that.
So I had another one in here. We have a question. So how much for training? I mean,
Is that a new line item?
yes, it is.
The legal is a new line item. Training is a new
too.
line item.
What have you done in the past for legal gone through us?
Yes, or
Yes.
MMA, the Mass Municipal
Yeah.
Association.
But we may have questions that we want to ask. So we could submit it to you if you say, no, I'm not gonna go through legal and.
Legal is our counsel. Legal is our counsel.
Right.
We hire them.
Yes, our counsel, KP Law,
Any board, commission
yeah,
goes through us with the question to give to legal, and then you guys get your answer.
and so can we ask that whatever we ask, you pass through to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends what you ask.
Ah.
You have a
See?
question, you should ask.
So the board had a discussion at the time. It's all on record. I didn't think we needed a legal line item. I thought that we could go either through Board of Selectmen
Yeah.
or through MMA. I was outvoted, and it was a
Yeah.
concern that if we had a legal question involving Board of Selectmen, the conflict of interest, we wanted, the FinCom as a whole voted, they wanted to be able to reach out to, for legal advice outside of going through you guys.
Well, legal counsel reports to us. That's the whole thing.
Yes.
We hire them.
Yep.
So all you gotta do is send it through her, the question, she sends it out to legal and you get an answer. I mean, I don't think any one of us is gonna say no to legal counsel. I mean,
I hear you.
it doesn't make sense,
I hear you.
you know?
If you're asking them what the weather's gonna be tomorrow, we might say no, but
Well, yeah, I mean, some. like
I think
that.
it just boils back down to, once you open that to one committee or board, the same thing can happen
Everyone's
with
got-
planning board, right? When something big comes, we've had to kind of retract too and say, everything has to come through here. Because everything has a price tag to it. So, I mean, I don't know how.
I think the difference that the FinCom
Yeah,
argued,
I think the problem with the planning board, excuse me, you know, because it's jogging my memory. Because I remember the planning board were just going directly to legal. And found that you had to say, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because that's our budget.
Right.
So you have to ask us for the okay to go to legal.
and so the
And
argument,
yeah, I think that was more the issue with the planning board.
the argument made by Claire at the time, I hope
Yeah.
she can speak to this, was as an independent board.
Yeah, as an oversight board, we might have some questions that we want to ask, and you look at them and you say, I'm not gonna let you ask that.
But we just said we wouldn't do that.
is there something you don't want us to know?
No, there's not. I'm just saying.
Well, that's getting right down to the nitty gritty.
Well, hey, let's.
No,
cut
I
to the
can't think of
chase.
anything right now, but, you know, there's been disagreements in the past and stuff.
Well,
and,
disagreement's a disagreement, but
Yeah, I
think it needs to go through the board.
yeah, I think so too.
I'll let him go with it.
Well, we voted,
I'm a good person. But the first time you refuse me, I'm gonna say, well, wait a minute,
Do you
it's
want us to
on
take a vote in
Zoom.
your favor?
I just,
Right.
just a pinky promise. would be
It's
fine.
on Zoom.
Well, I guess just make sure you have a good case when you come in.
Oh, I'll have a good case. I never have a bad case, Mike. It'd be a good reason for asking.
well, Claire, we had voted to put $1,000 towards that line item. And it was voted 3-1, $1,000.
Oh,
Do you
then we have
want-
to put it to a vote.
So do you want to reduce it? What are you asking?
Huh?
And we would have to vote on it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, in light of the, financial situation, then I'm gonna trust you guys. I trust you guys.
Yeah, one reason not to.
Well, it's the look you're giving me. That's what it is, you know?
Me?
Would you like me to make a motion or do you want? to make a
Yes, no,
motion?
you can make a motion.
So do I have any other discussion from Vinny, Steve, Brad on this item?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that we retract our previous vote to do a $1,000 new line item in the FinCom
Okay.
budget. Do I have a second?
1 second.
I have a second. All in favor?
Uh,
So I
so
record that
trust you guys.
as a 5-0 vote on that. Okay.
But I would like to see if we put in about 200 for training.
So we
I
can
try to
make,
get as much training as I can for free and online, but there's been times when, like, you know, Maribel, you and I have had a pony
Well,
up for
Put
it,
in enough, Claire. You know,
for training. You know, my list start with 200 and see what
well,
it gives
because
us.
Ben might want to do training.
Yeah, well, actually Brad would need some training too. These are the guys that
Probably wouldn't hurt.
use it, you know, because they're new.
Claire's fun to go to these meetings together.
There's 3 other people on this board. I don't know why you said my
We
name.
don't belong to anybody.
You
So
should take it
they're
personal.
training.
No, you're not part of the MMA, don't you pay dues for?
No. Finance committee, membership is what we have.
Oh, okay, membership.
So for like MMA, no, we don't have a membership at all.
Corey's making a face.
I feel like.
I
feel like
submitted I submitted a bill through Maribel that I'm
Yeah.
gonna look for right
It's a
now.
membership bill for, I believe it's finance committee, something.
Yeah.
But tried to get some training. It was under, the Selectmen, MMA, and they said, you are not a member.
Well, you're not a selectman.
Exactly. So that was the MMA. Yeah, Massachusetts Municipal Association. Then there's the Finance Committee
So
Association.
you belong to the
They-
finance.
We
they have-
belong to Finance Committee
They have
Association.
a handbook through the MMA for finance. They have one for selectmen.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
probably have planning board.
Yeah.
I think they have all the boards. They have handbooks
Oh, yeah.
to start your
Can you
training.
find it, Corey? You're
And
thinking.
they have online training too then.
Yeah.
But then they also have, which is really beneficial, is when you get together as a group from people all over the state.
Mhm.
And then those are really beneficial. Because you meet the other towns, you see what's going on in other towns and things of that nature. So you really learn more.
I don't know if I have it via
Yeah.
email. I think it's always done like a
Did you
hard
take
copy.
the presenting the budget?
I did indeed, yes.
I did too.
Yeah, I took presenting the budget. I thought it was
That's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
Dawn, if I can make a request of your admin, if she would just politely check her files, as I thought we had a membership submitted for about 260.
Yeah, I know we've done it.
$60 or something like that.
Gotta give me a second.
No, that's okay. I believe it was a hard copy,
Yeah,
so I can't find it in my email or in the OneDrive right now.
yeah.
Dues and
I
memberships,
definitely know.
Association of Town Finance,
That's what it is.
Association
And
of
how much
Town
is it?
Finance, $150.
Association.
Yeah, but I think what you gave me was a hard copy. I don't.
Either
So it's
way,
not the MMA. And I know because I tried to take a class with MMA and they said, you do not belong. And I said, well,
either way, I'm in
Alright.
favor of training. I think we need to come up with an amount and take a vote on it. Do you have a recommendation, Claire?
I was saying 200, but 300 would be probably better because then these guys can go to classes.
How much is a class?
Huh?
How much does a class go for?
It depends upon the class.
Yeah.
No, I've gone to classes that have been $100. Some are free. There's a ton of them online you can take. Some are free.
As a volunteer
Come on,
board, I do
100.
want to reinforce that taking trainings are optional and a great idea. So I appreciate Claire pointing that out. But again, it is going to be optional. I think that the $300 covers a lot of training. So why don't we start at $200?
Then 200.
And because that'll cover you, correct?
I'm sure it will.
Okay. So do I have a different opinion from anyone else?
I would say 3.
300?
I think we can.
It doesn't.
Okay. I'll look into something.
So
I'm
with,
gonna need it.
so I have a
Steve?
question. So
Yep.
with, in regards to this training, the material that you get are there offline videos, offline documentation that you can keep for historical purposes on our OneDrive?
Yes.
Yeah, you usually get a set of, slides and things of that nature, Steve.
And then are the recordings like, are they live presentations like virtually? Or are they,
Some are.
okay,
A lot of them
some-
are from the MMA, sorry.
Yeah,
are, And
yeah.
then once you create an account,
Yeah,
then you'll have them on your desktop or on your dashboard, I should say.
Yeah, I'm
actually,
just-
you know.
I'm wondering if you can
It's a
download them.
combination. It's a combination.
Yeah, I'm wondering if like the video presentations, let's say you wanted to go back and listen to something later, do you have that ability is my question.
I do.
In many cases, you do.
Okay.
Yes, they
Yeah.
record it and then it's posted.
It's got all of that. I think it's well worth it.
But the workshops may not work that way.
Mhm.
So if you got.
Well, workshops are different, right? I'm saying like if you're taking a 10-week course, each week is a different topic. You should have 10 weeks of material, right? Like presentation slides, but also that video content, which is very useful and beneficial.
Yeah, well, usually it's a one session, if you won't find 10, not in our particular case, Steve. And it's a combination of you have a presentation and it's just a presentation. Or there are others, it's presentation in the morning and the workshops in the afternoon where they go into real depth.
So,
I'm gonna look into that MMA thing though.
so Steve, I heard $300 from Claire and from Brad. I was leaning towards $200. Vinny hasn't weighed in yet. Did you have a thought on the amounts put towards that?
My amount will be dictated by you. I'll go with whatever you decide.
Okay, Vinny, did you?
Well, why don't we do 300? And
Okay, you want to make a motion?
I would make a motion to add a training, $300.
And do you have a second?
I second it.
Okay, and then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that was a 5-0 vote to add a $300 line item for training to the FinCom budget. Claire,
Because I think,
got that.
you know,
Thank you.
we can all use some training.
Yeah,
And we don't spend it, we don't spend it.
that's
It's $100
right.
bucks.
And we can spend it on postage.
We need you know, if we need the $100, we can take up a collection.
That's right.
All right. So unless there's anything else on the Finance Committee budget,
So
I'll
let's
go.
say what the total,
Sorry,
you need
Claire.
the totals?
Let me just see if anybody has any more questions before.
I don't.
Anything else to add, Brad? Steve?
No.
Probably. Okay. Claire, go ahead. Give us the totals, please.
So the total now is 30,750. I think we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. $30,750 total. All right. I had nothing else on the Finance Committee. Do we have any old business? Vinny?
No.
Brad? Steve?
No.
Okay. Claire?
No.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And it has to do with last night's, your meeting last night, and this is a procedural point of order.
Yep.
I believe the police chief was presented a budget last night. He has not presented that budget to the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
First. He was asked to do it the last meeting.
Mm.
Which is a modified budget from his original budget.
Right.
So until he does that,
You want me not to send it to Laurie then?
no,
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was going to say, I was going to ask Dawn.
we're meeting Monday,
Okay.
I believe, to have that discussion with him.
Yeah. So Dawn,
So why he came in and he was not on the agenda.
he was on the agenda.
I believe he's on the agenda for next week.
That was the old agenda. So the revised agenda that was published and printed had police department animal control officer.
On the website?
Yes.
Because I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I defer to Claire as she posted it and it was
I
updated.
thought it was on the corrected one was on the website.
Because I checked, that's why I would have been here. I know that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because I checked yesterday.
Claire, I'll have to look with you when I pulled it up, that.
It wasn't there?
It's the old budget, it's your old agenda.
Okay,
What's on the website?
All right, I screwed
is
up.
Public comments, correspondence, new business, meeting with departments, fire, ambulance, board of health, dispatch, emergency management.
That's what I saw.
And that
Yeah.
was an old,
Confirming that right now. So that is correct.
thank you.
I can
Thank you,
share my-
Steve.
Yeah,
but-
and the
okay.
website is the official posting.
So we have, as a board, we have not weighed in on from his original submitted budget.
Yeah, I was going to say to Don, I think that the numbers still have to be presented to you guys. All we saw was that he reduced from his original submission, he reduced about 40,000. So I see no reason why you guys sitting with him, our numbers with him were not final. So I think it makes sense that he comes back to you guys.
Well, we didn't have any problems with the figures.
Well, there may be other options too.
I know. I hear you.
Did you want to speak on that at this time?
No.
Okay.
I'll speak on it after Monday.
Okay. Excellent.
I understand.
Any other business from the floor?
Claire, yeah, we
Yeah, I can, me too.
got your,
You got the letter.
the letter. Do you have any more feedback on that as far as the student?
They were
Northampton.
accepted. No, I wanted to send the letter out. I wanted you guys to read it first to see if there's anything you wanted to change or add to it before I send it out to Lisa Weinstein. That's the name that was recommended to me by Colleen.
So
And-
as a,
Yeah,
having read what you sent to us
yeah,
on a procedural thing,
yeah.
should, and you correct me if I'm not thinking the right way, but should this have gone through Pathfinder Voc?
No.
Being Voc to Voc?
No.
Because I kind
Because-
of picked up that,
You just, and I know what
that
you,
line of thought on
Yeah.
the second page.
what I'm asking Lisa is this, the request goes to the academic superintendent because that student is currently in the academic
Right,
school.
in the 8th grade.
Yeah, so Pathfinder is not involved. But my question, and this is what you're picking up on, is that one of the exceptions that you can make in saying we don't want the person to go to that particular vocational high school is that you as a town have stated a preference school. So that my question to them was, we would state, I want to make sure we would state our preference would be Northampton Smith, not Norfolk.
Right.
How do we get that on the official record? And how is that known to people that we have it on the official record? So I'm looking for two options. There were three options there were three options where you can make an exception. You can voice your objection. One was the distance. But there is a school with a comparable program that is closer. In that case, it's Northampton Smith.
Yeah.
The second is you have stated a preferred vocational high school. Now, if that preferred vocational high school has that program, they have to go there.
And to your knowledge, we didn't do that
That's
in
correct.
past years when we had several students going to Smith Northampton.
No.
That was never done.
No. So what I want to know is if that is indeed the case, then what is the process that you say, this is our preferred high school? And how does it get on record so people know that? And I want to know what that procedure is.
For the town resident, if you're not aware of the discussion, okay. I was gonna, then for the record, I'll just update. It was about $80,000 cost to the town for this one student to go to a different school.
But yes.
The nice thing is that we would recoup about 40,000 of it in transportation costs.
Yes, and I read that law.
And so it would end up being
And the law says
Subject to
You-
appropriation
subject to appropriation.
by the legislature.
Exactly.
that is new information to me. Thank you.
No, you
I
have to-
apologize, resident.
you
It
have
may
to-
be $80,000.
You have to read the whole law,
Sorry.
not just what you, yeah, so when,
So Claire,
I knew it was too good to be true, okay?
in your letter,
Yeah,
Oof.
in this particular instance, this particular student, there's not a lot we can do
I'm,
going,
yeah,
or there is to
I am
maybe change.
asking them to
to ch-
reopen
Okay,
so we can file a rejection. What I was saying was the superintendent was put in a position where she had 48 hours and she could not take action without substantial harm to the student. So will you reopen? Because that school had their lottery on February 11th and the process says the application is accepted by March 1st. Would be at Northampton, or I should say, Norfolk.
Yeah.
And then it has to be then presented to the academic high school by April 1st. And all this was done prior to those dates. It was done on February 11th, and therefore we had no chance to respond. Would you please open
so
up the
they jumped the
case?
timeline.
They jumped the timeline. So I'm asking, would you reopen up the case for us? Second question was, does the student have to have applied to 2 vocational high schools? So say that we presented a case and said we need to have this person go to a closer vocational high school with the same program. And they say yes. Does that mean that she had to have applied to Smith Northampton? How does that application get moved over to Northampton Smith? So I'm asking her about all those procedural questions so we know, not only now, but in the future.
Claire's doing a very nice job of chasing it down. Michelle, did you have a follow-up?
Well, I remember with the Smith thing. And I also remember one of the town children going to a vocational school. And because it had HVAC but didn't have something else, they got away with doing that. And, you know, is this child going to this vocational school if they change their major for 10th grade? Does that change the town's payment or?
Yes, it does.
And how about on
Yes.
regards to the students' academic? You know, do they have to have a certain grade to continue for the town to? I mean, because someone can go to a voc school and that's gonna cost $80,000 for one student and get straight Ds and still continue on into the next year.
We have no access to grades, so that becomes irrelevant. However, the chapter 74 is clear. If the person changes their major, they have to reapply.
What's the average cost of a student?
So it's 36,000
It-
plus transportation
It'll be
costs.
30,000 plus 46,008. We don't have the tuition cost because that doesn't come out, that comes out from the commissioner and it comes out in April. Last year was 30,000.
So we'd expect to see a slight increase in that. And then transportation costs, that's why we're saying 80,000. It's going to be slight.
Not for this one particular student.
Yes.
What is the average for
Oh.
just student?
You're
I'm
talking like Pathfinder numbers or?
Yeah, just regular quad.
Yeah.
Well, we pay X amount of money to Pathfinder. We don't break it down by student, but.
I think Steve had,
Well, I have the
Total
amount.
divided by the number of
I
students.
think Steve had done it one time and it was about, was it 9,500?
Not
Oh,
for Pathfinder, oh
No,
no.
but for quality.
Pathfinder is more like 16,000. It's more
16?
like 13,000 for Quabbin if you want to
Okay.
break it down that way.
So that would be your
Yeah.
comparison.
You're saying Pathfinder is like 16,000?
Yeah, your vocational schools are always higher. Yeah.
That's a large.
But we're bought into Quabbin and Pathfinder as
Right.
member community.
Yeah.
So we have the infrastructure and all that, grounds and buildings, and that's all part of the cost that we pay.
Yeah. So what are we paying for Pathfinder? This year we have a
You know what I'm checking.
I know.
Come on, we
I
say
know.
$46.
Okay.
46,000.
So we're paying to Pathfinder. You have to be careful how you say that too, because Pathfinder is minimum contribution determined by the state plus over the minimum contribution. So we're paying a total of, and this is transportation, everything, full boatload. $256,454. So how many?
It's 15 students.
It's about 15.
I know it was 15, went from 16 to 15 last year.
Yeah. So 17,096 if I take 15 students.
It's a big increase to go down the road. Well,
It is.
But if they don't have the program that the student is applying, that's when you can apply outside of your.
It's called a CTE program. I can't remember what the C stands for, technical education, and there are only certain programs. And I was looking for, well, what programs are they? And then I said, oh shit, I'm looking right at them. You know, it's right on the page here. It says CTE programs and it lists them, okay? So one of them is animal sciences. And I know that Smith Northampton has animal science, as does Norfolk. And you have to apply with the technical name. You cannot say, I want to study horses or owls or something like that. You have to say animal sciences.
Did we give you enough information on that
No,
item?
I knew that.
Okay.
I just, because I know like New Braintree, we could pull buses if the person went to Smith. compared
That's
to-
right. That's right. Yeah,
So,
that's right. And so New Braintree is telling me that looks like they're gonna have 2 students going.
Thank you for the
So
questions.
the superintendent is very interested, as is New Braintree, because they want to know about this stuff too.
2 students going,
Smith Northampton.
okay, not.
From New Braintree.
Oh,
You scared Dawn for a second there.
well, it would have been good for us if they were going to Norfolk, because we could have shared a van.
I was thinking what you were thinking.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
more, that's $160,000.
Yeah.
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 So,
All
no,
right.
Like the Smith thing, do we have to worry about, is there other siblings? Because that's what happened with the Smith.
I don't know.
When it started was one child and
I
then it was the siblings that went.
I don't know, and we have no control over that.
Interesting.
It depends upon,
Unless you can specify that Smith we side with compared to,
Norfolk.
yeah.
And that was my
So
question.
You're gonna find it. Well, hopefully.
Claire will look into it, yes.
So the question is, if it's okay, if you're okay with the letter, there's nothing that you want to add or take out, then I'll work with Maribel so we can put it on the letterhead. And then we'll send, you guys will have a copy for your files.
Yeah, so.
I'll give one for Colleen Mucha. She wants one for her files. And I also copied another person there, Marnie Jane, because I noticed in the procedure for chapter 74, she is the liaison if you refuse an application. So I figured good one to have.
Excellent. All right. I'll go around the table one more time. We're covering old business and new business. Anything, Vinny?
No,
Brad? Steve, I see you unmuted yourself. Do you have any?
No.
Anything? And Claire? So the FinCom is complete with our agenda, Board of Selectmen. Did you guys have anything on yours?
We have new and old business. Do we have any new or old business for tonight?
Nothing that can't wait till Monday.
Monday, yeah. Okay. Take a motion to adjourn.
Oh, can I ask you one question? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Go ahead.
Okay. The other thing was, we had said that, there's various options. One of them would be to go to Prop 2.5. And I had said to Dennis yesterday, if you guys do not want to go with the Prop 2.5 override, tell me now, so I don't waste my time putting together data. Just tell me. You can make that decision on Monday, but please tell me, and I will cease and desist any work on Prop 2.5.
The nice thing is the numbers have continued to come down. And so we were looking at, again, the 2030 plan. So plan for the next 3 years. You don't want to go back to the town year after year after year. And worst case scenario at the time, the numbers we had was 1.5 million. And I think we are now down to 500,000. And that would still be a 2030 plan that would be able to tell the town residents this should close the budget gap for the next 3 years.
Now, Maribel and I met with the treasurer, tax collector, Tuesday,
Last week.
last week, to go over the numbers we discussed with real estate that's in arrears, excise that's in arrears, and personal property, which is in arrears. So it sounds like Sarah has a pretty good handle on it as far as the procedure to move forward. She's going to start with an initial letter saying, hey, this is what we have. Does it coincide with what your records? If you have a difference, please come in. Start the process that way. She felt a lot of the excise, not a lot, but a percentage of it, we don't know the percentage, may be uncollectible because people have moved to other states,
They've never taken.
gotten-
off the
Yeah.
database.
gotten new license plates, new registrations, and
Mike,
lost the Massachusetts tags in the trash, and they're never coming back.
Mike, just for the record, what was the number? 290,000?
I think it was what, 133 in real estate back to 22, 251.
251 and.
Excise was 93 and personal property, I think was 26 in change. So
251 and change. It came up again at a recent meeting. Someone again asked the percent that was reasonable to expect. And did you get any clearer answer?
no, unless, I don't think you're gonna see it,
Claire had mentioned.
I mean,
when
even
you
if
would see-
somebody-
Yes,
even if it comes in and gets paid, I don't know that you're gonna see it in revenue for this year.
yeah.
I don't think. you
No,
will.
Claire had mentioned that.
I think it's too late in the year to see it.
Yeah,
It
that'll
will
probably
go,
go
go
in.
in next year's.
I think so next year. Yeah.
We were just
Yeah.
hoping to hear from someone with experience, whether they expected to collect 10% of that outstanding or 60%. You know, that's a big difference.
I think we'll know more once she sends out the initial letters,
Mhm.
and then the second letter would be from town council through the treasurer, which usually, she said from her experience, people respond to a little bit better than the first letter.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a, let's do it, let's get it out and see what the return is,
Awesome. Thank you.
and then just work on it from there. And I don't think any of us want to see anything go to tax title, you
Yeah.
know?
I keep calling it bad debt. What's the proper term for it? Well, it's a business term.
It's a business.
Yeah, so what's the town term for it?
Yeah, you're gonna go into tax foreclosure.
Tax title, something.
Uncollected.
Tax,
Take-
tax
I mean,
taking.
that's the end, but that
There's steps.
conceivably could be 3 years down the road, depending on where the individual
Yeah, that's
You have 3.5
that's
homeowner
years to
is
do a
in
taking.
their,
That's a long process.
in their
Yeah.
process of being in arrears. So if you have somebody that's 3-4 years in, well, they're obviously gonna be first on the list.
Yeah.
So,
Dennis, any stories you want to tell us at this time? Okay. All right. Well, I have no other questions for the Board of Selectmen.
I got nothing. Okay. Second, all in
I
favor?
mean, I,
Aye.
Right. And then, does someone want to make a motion to adjourn or me?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I second it.
All right, all in favor?
Uh,
Or the FinCom is going to call this meeting to an end at, oh, wow. 8:37 PM. Thank you all for attending.